Hello, everybody. Welcome to the football brief. Excuse the rugged look. This is me in my dressing gown over in New York, as I've been awoken to some breaking news. Breaking news across the pond, and it's going to directly affect you, Brad. Manchester United have sacked Eric Ten Hag. It is October 28th, 2024. Manchester United have sacked Eric Ten Hag. I mean, this is going to be all you, bro. What you thinking? How you
I said it
feeling?
months ago. He's not the right man. We knew he wasn't the right man. Am I disappointed he's gone? No, not at all, especially after that performance and the result at the weekend. First half performance was fine, second half was awful. I think the players have got to take some responsibility here because, you're in front of goal that many times and can't put the ball in the net, then that's on them. But do I think Unai Emery could come in and get more out of these players? Yeah, absolutely. So he's not been the right man for a while, but it just screams of incompetence from above. I thought Ineos were meant for this new, fresh-faced feeling. We're just on the back of two international breaks. Two of them. Why are we sacking him now? We've got midweek game against Leicester. Okay, we might get a new manager bounce. Ruud van Nistelrooy is going to come and step in, which, coming on the back of 2 titles at PSV isn't necessarily a bad thing, but he's got no experience at this hugely high level and under the pressure and scrutiny as a manager of what comes with the United job. I'm fuming with the timing. I'm not fuming with the decision because I think it's been a long time coming. I'm actually surprised Ten Hag has got so long, but get rid of him in the summer, man. We've just missed out on Tuchel, who's now the bloody England manager. He could have been ours.
Yeah.
You've got talks now of Real Madrid going after Xavi because they weren't happy with the 4-0 loss against Barcelona at the weekend. So we're maybe going to miss out on Xavi as well. Like, it just screams of incompetence from the top to the absolute bottom of our club at the moment. The blind leading the blind, absolute idiocy on the back of 2 international breaks, and then we've got yet another interim coming in. So, take a breath. Am I upset with the decision? No. Am I upset with the timing? Incredibly. I just think it's been so poorly managed since the summer, since his job's been under question. And let's
Yeah.
have it right here. That guy is only in a job because he won an FA Cup. We're not Arsenal. We are not a cup team. Sit there and tell everyone you've been the most successful manager, second most successful manager in England based on trophies after Guardiola. Do we look anywhere close to Man City? No. Do we play like them? No. Do we have the players they have? No. Do we have the infrastructure? No. Sick to death of this piss poor management from Manchester bloody United. I thought we got rid of all this with Ineos. I thought the Glazers were gone. We're still making shocking football decisions. So I'm glad he's gone. But I'm not happy with the timing. I just
I
feel
feel
like
like
it could have been done better.
I feel like this could be used as almost like a therapy session for you. So please, what do they say in these sessions? Breathe every 10 seconds, take a breath, just feel it, man. Just relax, vent, get it all off your chest. I think. Do you know what? Jokes aside, though, there is an air of inevitability about this, and I have to agree from a neutral standpoint. I'm not a Manchester United fan, but I hear a lot of it through you. A lot of um the sort of the annoyance and the sort of just the sloppiness really from Manchester United. It's all stemmed from the summer, hasn't it? That moment that it was breaking news on all of the broadcasting platforms everywhere that Ten Hag's job is under review. Ever since that moment, it's just never felt quite right. And you've always felt that as soon as he has a bad run of games or there's that one fixture that doesn't go his way, he's gone. And like you say, you've got this new business coming in, this new model, and it just, to me, seems like it's been completely mismanaged. Or it sort of shows that they've just not found the person that they're after, or if there is someone that they want, they've not been available at the time, so they've sort of had to stick with him. And now it's like,
I'm going to
after
disagree.
yesterday,
I'm going to massively disagree. Didn't have the right person available at the time. I mean, we've just missed out on Arnie Slot, who we didn't even get the best guy, bloody Dutchland, for God's sake. So we could have got Arnie Slot. We could have got Tuchel. They both just accepted new jobs. We've missed out on both of them. Could have
Apparently,
gone for Deserby.
apparently Tuchel spoke to Man United. He's openly. I think that's quite common knowledge now. I think he spoke to you boys.
Didn't want to take to us at the moment. Absolutely take to them. I do agree with you. I think that was why the FA expedited the process with him, because United was showing an interest. But even so, that's a conversation that is happening. Yeah, we might have interviewed him, but the conversation's happening months after the season started. We've just had the option. Look, Maresco's gone into Chelsea. That they all joined in the summer. We could have done this months ago. Or we could have done it in either of the two last international windows. Or we've got another international window in 2 weeks. We could have used that. I just find it really poor management. Yeah, again, air of inevitability is an absolute understatement. It was always going to happen. He was like the yellow sticker manager of the Premier League, going out a date, and just we know that he's only going to be there for a finite amount of time. So make that decision before you have to make that decision, surely. Get in front of the issue. As somebody who's ran his own business, I wouldn't wait until my business was in absolute doldrum before I made that decision to change the leadership. And you can lean back on, oh, well, we've had Bereda come in, we've had Dan Ashworth come in, we wanted to see how it would. No! Minus negative goal difference for the last 2 seasons. Not won a European game in over a year. 21st in the Europa League table. 14th in the Premier League table. Oh my God. I think we were 11th going into the last international window. Why have we waited until now? And then you just put yourself in a position where you're scrabbling around for an interim. Oh, we need to go and get a permanent person. Or maybe Rude will get the job for like an Ollie situation again.
Yeah.
Oh, he does well. There's a bit of a bounce. Oh, yeah, we'll give him the job permanently. Another 3 years, another ruined ex-United legend. I'm sick to death of it, man. I honestly thought this was going to be a new breath of fresh air with Ineos coming in over the summer, officially taking over on their first season, and so far, I've just been hugely disappointed. So we're now left with a squad of 650 million quid's worth of Ten Hag's players that someone's got to come and get a tune out of. What a waste of time and money. And yet we're back in the rebuild. Really? Been rebuilding for the last 3 decades? Get Alex Ferguson back in the club. Get rid of him. Idiots, man.
As well, it again, back on the timing, it's sort of weird because I watched your game yesterday and I actually thought for the first half at least, you actually played fairly well. It's almost like your players have become the final nail in the coffin for him, because Dalot with that miss was just, it was almost like the players had just sort of give up. So Dalot with the miss, and also, I mean, I'm not going to go too much into it now, but that refereeing decision, that was not a penalty yesterday. So that's almost that's really, that's not helped matters. My next question to you is, which I don't know whether you're going to be able to answer this.
Let's also have this right. Ten Hag being sacked isn't based on yesterday's game solely. Absolutely. It's based on 3 years of absolute generation of our club and the players within. You name me, other than a couple of youngsters, which probably would have done well under absolutely anybody. You name me one player that's got better under Ten Hag. Sorry, I'm just counting clouds because that's an easier question.
I actually don't think there is any.
There isn't. There's not one, mate. There's not one. Even Mainoo's dropped off a bit now. From this superstar to, is he going to be out what everyone? But anyway, by the by, he's gone now. But yeah.
So the question I pose to you now is, who? Okay, there's 2 questions, 2 parts. Who can Manchester United realistically get? And the second part to that is, who do you want?
I still think the team of Rude, Roy Keane, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would make.
You're on that train. Still.
I still think they'd make a fantastic coaching squad. Between them as players, they won 36 trophies, 36 titles and trophies. Rude's been very successful at PSV. Roy Keane's got Sunderland promoted twice. Ollie did well in Mould and did well at United as well. 2nd place finish, and he got us to a Europa League final, which is probably the best since Jose Mourinho was with us when we won the Europa League final. So I think those 3, I know there'll be hate for it, but you tell me who else. And do not give me the answer of Southgate. If Ineos are even going to speak to Southgate, they're as bad as the Glazers.
No, look. I mean, no, Southgate, no
You look at
way.
the
He shouldn't
Derby,
go anywhere
well,
near Manchester United Football Club. My first person would have been, you know me. I'm a big Tuchel fan, always have been, and I was obviously over the moon that he's now joined England. But for me, I just thought he was going to be, or he would have been a really tidy fit for you boys. I'm sure a lot of Man United fans disagree with that. I just think his record speaks for itself.
I agree.
Who
If we
else
want to win
realistically
trophies
now
and be
do I think?
challenging, with all the ones that I would have said we've missed out on, bar Deserby's got, and I don't know if I want Deserby, to be honest, because he's not particularly proven himself right now
Graham
at
Potter,
the club anyway.
he's free.
He is free, but again, look what happened at Chelsea with him. You've got to be ready to take that big step, the step up to the big club, which Tuchel can do and has proven, but now lost in his senior manager. Xavi, but by the sounds of it, he's going to be in talks with Madrid, which United versus Madrid, there's no competition at the moment. Arnie Slot, again, if we're going to go into the Dutch market, get the best in class in that Dutch market, which we didn't do. He's now doing wonders at Liverpool.
But at the time, though, Ten Hag was though, wasn't he? At the time, arguably
That was
with
this summer.
Ajax.
I mean, I suppose Arnie Slot's agreement was done last
Yeah,
season, but still, we should have been having those conversations. If Liverpool have seen that, why haven't we seen that in it? But I think we're picking from a very limited pool at the moment, and that's why I say the trio
I mean,
of Roy, Rude, and Ollie, because I don't see any other options right now available. Other than
Manchester
Unai Emery,
United,
if we went to the
hands off,
throttle for it.
hands off Unai Emery.
Well, look, I'm in a group, as you know, with several hundred United season ticket holders, and the feeling very much is that we should go out and take you. Whether or not he'd want to come
There's
to
going to
us
be a
is
lot of
another
that chat.
story.
And look, I'd be very surprised if he wasn't linked with the job. Look, let's put this into perspective. This is arguably one of, if not the biggest footballing club in the world.
It's the
So
biggest
this
job in
is
world football.
this is a massive job, and you now need to, for Ineos to really, announce themselves and sort of prove themselves to be this force. They now need to go out and get the best in class. You
Well,
need
this
to
will be
look at
their
this.
first managerial appointment, technically.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
although
So
Eric
this
Ten
is a
Hag
big
was
move.
their appointment, but because they could have got rid of him, but they didn't. But
Um,
they need to go out and get the best person for the job. But as we just ran through, the options there are limited at the moment.
well, I know
Another
it's a little
sad
bit.
day for Manchester United in the recent history, unfortunately. In a decade of rebuilding, we're now in another rebuild stage. We're now going to have another coach come in. Not his group of players, more money to be
Yeah,
spent,
yeah.
more of a gap. I mean, more of a gap. We're 14th in the league, for God's sakes. There can't really be much more of a gap.
Do you know, I was looking at this though, but with 2 wins though, you're up in the top. I think top 6. If you got 2 wins on the bounce and results went your way, it's not like you are massively cut adrift. But look, for the stature of Manchester United and for the history of your club, that's nowhere near good enough, and we all know that. And I do think with Ten Hag, it's been a waiting game. So, but I think their hands have been forced now. It's like, let's make the change now after yesterday's performance. And also, it's West Ham. And no disrespect to West Ham, but they've been shocking at home this season. They've only beaten Ipswich, I believe. So, for you boys to go there and get beat, it doesn't look good. I know things went against him, but on the balance of play, you've just not been good enough. Ten Hag, he just lacks that aura that I would expect from a Manchester United manager. From a Villa point of view, we had Gerrard, and I remember when Unai Emery first came in, and the first thing I said to you, I think we watched. So Unai's first game was weirdly against Manchester United. I think we won 3-1. I was at yours watching the game, and you turned to me and said, like, how do you feel? And I just said, it just feels we've got a manager in the dugout now. We've got a real manager, and Gerrard was just this. I don't know what he was, just this shadow of a manager. And I feel like Eric Ten Hag's in that similar bracket.
This is going
He
to
just
sound
does not
ridiculous.
fit the Manchester United way. He just doesn't
No,
look like
not at all.
the man that's going to carry your club forward. He just can't he can't handle the strain and the stress, man.
And he's
Do you know
also
what I mean?
disillusioned. Some of the feedback that he's given us after games, and he's watching a different game to what the United fans did watch it. Pulling out positives where there were no positives. Well, we had some good chances, but we got forward. Score. We lost 3-0. So, that was against Tottenham and Liverpool, for God's sake, some of our biggest rivals, the teams that we should be going in and having close games against. But he actually summed it up for me. Last week, I saw a picture it was in Sky, or in a Sky article of Eric Ten Hag and Jose Mourinho sharing a warm embrace before the game. And I know it's not about physical stature or anything like that, but actually in that picture, Jose looked like a giant compared to Ten Hag. Ten Hag looked like a miniature, tiny little man being cuddled by his father, condoling. And it's not about physical stature, it's about energy, it's about presence, but I think it says it all. Jose Mourinho has that stature, has that presence. And Ten Hag hasn't. To quote Simon Jordan, a man in a ill-fitting suit that's too big for him when he first joined. And the ill-fitting suit wasn't actually relating to his tailor. It was relating to this job looks too big for that man. And it's been proven right. Again.
No, I think that's a really good point. And Mourinho and the managers of that ilk, they've got personality. I never looked at Ten Hag. I never felt he won the fans over. He seemed quite cold. He didn't seem very approachable. He didn't seem. I mean, look, we're not in the media. We're not in these press conferences. So he may be different, but a lot is said through newspapers, through social media outlets and stuff. Like, so as a manager, you've got to really put yourself out there to connect with fans. I never felt he did that. His personality was just really like drib, just cold, boring. Nothing. At least Mourinho has a bit of energy about him. So,
his speech at the end of last season, I was there for it on the Old Trafford pitch. Before the FA Cup final, we will go out there and we'll do everything we can to beat Man City. It was just, number one, it was unnecessary. I never saw Fergie come out and try and instill in fans that we're going to go up the next game and win. It was just expectation, and he just knew that he had to deliver. So even that, for me, is such a disconnect from the club that you're at. It might have worked at a place like I am, where you're flying high, getting to quarter and semi-finals in the Champions League, but I'm sorry, it doesn't cut it at Manchester United, mate.
well, look, I'm glad that we managed. We've had a bit of a debrief on this. This is going to take a while to sink in, and the aftermath of the decision now and the next week, 2 weeks, however long it's going to take to get a new manager is going to be very interesting. And I'm sure you're going to keep us briefed here as you do all things United. I just want to any sort of last words from you in regards to this. Is there a time frame you expect? Have you heard anything? Do you know how long they're going to take to look for a manager? Like, what have you heard?
No, as of yet. I mean, look, they'd have been stupid to not have been having these conversations in the background anyway. On the fact we just had 2 international breaks. So if there are a lot of shortlists somewhere, I'd be absolute shocked. In terms of timescale, Ruben Nistelrooy comes in, takes the interim role immediately. And then I think we'll see how we go from there. My preference is to get Logan in ASAP. I have a niggling doubt that they're going to leave Ruud in place for a few games to see how he gets on and maybe see what the fact that is. But look, it's all breaking news. So as it updates emerge, you post it, get you up to date straight away with the latest brief news. And yeah, let this one settle in for you United boys. And no doubt, actually very shortly with updates.
No, thank you very much, and I appreciate you jumping on so last minute. Obviously, last minute for you. It's
Sorry to get you out of bed so early.
No. I was up and out, and apologies to viewers or listeners. You can't see, but I'm actually in my dressing gown. Just before we go, the Football Brief episode 2 has, I think, just dropped actually. I think midday UK time, so that should be now on our YouTube platform. I think it's also going to be should be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Please like, share, subscribe, give us a listen, and we will do our best to brief you further on more news as and when it comes. So, Brad, I will say bye, and keep me updated. Let it sink in. Try and chill, and just look after yourself as always. Pleased to brief you.